Well, Growers Edge, I think, has made us more money by allowing me to survey the local bids that I'm in the area that I want to sell my grain. The local elevators and the ethanol plants know that this information is out there, so they've got to be competitive if they want to get the grain. You know, we've been able to maximize our return on our farm.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. It's October 17th, 2014. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right here is Cody Bills to wrap up the week here on GrainTV. Let's take a look at the iPad and see where the grains closed out today's session. We had corn down 4 3/4, soybeans moving lower off 15 1/4, and we had Chicago wheat relatively unchanged, up just a penny there. Just a reminder, if you want to get live quotes on your iPad here over the weekend, visit us at grainhedge.com. Take a 2-week trial of the same software that you see us using here on GrainTV each day. Cody, let's talk about corn for a little bit. Relatively weak day and a little bit surprising based on those export sales we had this morning.
Absolutely. Export sales were very positive here for corn and for soybeans. For wheat, it came in within analyst expectations.
Yep.
None of them actually beat analyst expectations. It was very strong for corn, booking about 1,922,000 metric tons. Now, this included a very large sale to Mexico that we knew that was reported on the 10th here of October. So when you look at that, you know, it was within analyst expectations, despite the fact that it was the largest export sales for corn that we've seen all year long. When you look at soybeans, you know, came in around 935,000 metric tons. That was on the high side of expectations, but not really enough to really boost this market.
Yeah, relatively good week there in terms of soybean sales. Today's sell-off largely looked like it was technically driven. If you take a look here at the hourly chart of that November 14 soybean contract, you can see that this chart here does a really good job capturing this move higher that we've been seeing really since the start of October. You can see here basically the highs that we traded there around 980. We have since been unable to make new highs here on this contract, and right now from a technical aspect, we're looking at about 950 as a key area of support. If we are able to close below that, from a technical perspective, it would start to appear that the party's over here for soybeans, and there's a good chance we could go down, maybe retest those lows that we saw coming into October. In my own opinion, I think that we are going to start to see some selling here, or a continuation of today's selling in the soybean market. Not a lot of fundamentals right now to drive this move higher. We had Informa come out, expect very large 2015 soybean acres once again. Brazil, Argentina, both underway planting very large acreages down there. So right now, I don't see a lot of a bullish story here on the horizon. It has been a good run, but as I said, that's kind of my 2 cents on the matter here as we move into the second half of October.
You know, another thing that's kind of interesting here is that when you look at the overall market, when you look at crude oil, which traded down very sharply this week, the equities that traded down very sharply. Yeah, you know, today we didn't have a lot of strength here in soybeans, and maybe what we did see earlier on is some rebalancing of these portfolios, the hedge funds, as some of their losses, perhaps in the crude oil, they may have been lifting some of the winning short positions that they had on soybeans. So it is kind of interesting here. We get a little bit of a recovery in equities and crude, and all of a sudden we're seeing more weakness here in the soybean market.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Cody, it is Friday here on GrainTV, and we like to take a look at kind of what's going on in the cash market. Take a look here at this chart. This details Illinois barge rates, and you can see that prices have started to rebound a little bit, but relatively stable compared to that large run-up that we saw in late September here. Right now, barge is going for around 120 cents per bushel on the Illinois River. In light of this barge environment, Cody, what are we seeing right now for new crop basis?
Well, one thing that we noticed that is terminals along the river. We did see corn as the main beneficiary of the fact that we finally have some stability here in barge rates. You'll notice 1 week ago, barge rates were declining very sharply. This week, it seems as though we kind of found a bit of a bottom, and we're starting to turn back up here, especially as we get more harvest pace coming down the line in the weeks to come. But you'll notice that corn along the river basis was improving 7 3/8 cents on average across all river terminals, and also when you look at soy, they were up 3 1/8. So they didn't improve as much, though last week they were the main beneficiary of declining barge rates.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if we kind of take a look here and see where the winners and the losers were in the cash market here in terms of corn and soybeans, if we take a look at corn, a lot of weakness out there in Iowa on average, basis was down 7 cents per bushel there. Cody, anything in particular that's driving that basis lower across the central grain belt, or is this just representative of time period that we're kind of getting into harvest lows?
Well, I think you definitely get a situation as you move through harvest where some will come out of basis lows faster than others. That's typically very regional. Take a look at Missouri. That's an area that we improved both for corn and for soybeans. That's an area we've seen harvest progress move past that kind of 30% area, and usually harvest basis lows are somewhere around that 30% harvested time period. So, we're moving past that. Now we're seeing some basis improvement here in Missouri. I would suspect that as we get more and more opportunity for these northern states to really start harvesting, we'll probably start to see basis come up. But for now, we don't have enough progress here in terms of harvest to really start coming out of these basis lows.
Yeah, absolutely. At Grain Hedge here, we have a great platform that all of our trading clients get access to. It not only tells you where your best cash market is locally, but it shows storage opportunities here throughout the marketing year. And obviously, in a futures environment where we've seen corn and soybean prices sell off substantially, these little pickups on basis are going to really be important here this marketing year. If you want to take a look at that platform or the iPad app that we use here on GrainTV, visit us at grainhedge.com or give our office a call. The number here is 877-472-4607. Thanks a lot for joining us here on a Friday for GrainTV. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.